Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's run it will be my last map that I have not yet featured, and is Bed Harvest. However, I wanted to do Bed Harvest on solo on expert difficulty, but it was way too difficult and I have not achieved that yet. I think the longest I've survived from the Bed Harvest expert map was about 15 minutes before my defenses gave up. It's a very difficult map to solo, and the only person that I've seen that is solo Bed Harvest expert was someone called Minosin, or I think it was his YouTube channel, and he featured someone else doing the run on expert. So in my case, I will be doing Bed Harvest on advanced solo, and even though it's only on advanced, but as you can see the leaderboards, only quite a handful of people completed it on advanced solo. So I hope that this video can help you guys achieve something special by completing Bed Harvest on advanced, and it's still quite a difficult map to do. And this will be the deck that I'll be using. Nothing too fancy, and I tried to get it down as cheap as possible without enemy monument. And yes, let's dive straight into the video.
You should split up. Some should send their troops east to defend the gold wagon.
First, I'll summon the Dreadcharger to get up all the walls, can delay the bandit waves by quite a while. I'll summon under Dreadcharger to get the well, but you do have to follow these methods. Because one Dreadcharger is sufficient to get through the bandit camp, summon two of the Dreadchargers to be safe. Because I've tried with one Dreadcharger and it's not really a 100% success rate that the Dreadcharger will pass by the bandit camp without dying. So the most important part next is to gather up all your wells before building up your monument. As you can see in my main base, I have my 2 wells as well. You do have to take the rest of the wells as it will be ambushed by the bandits.
Enemies lay siege to your base. Enemies lay siege to your base.
Yep, this is not really a necessary move to bring your Dreadcharger down, because at this point I didn't have much to do, just waiting to collect power to build my wells. The tough part is to maintain your main base and the wagon defenses.
You must aid them. Your forces are under
I have my nature orb next. This is because we'll be using nature to defend our bases, the root network.
Enemies lay siege to your base. Enemies lay siege to your base.
You can use world breaker guns, but it's very expensive, so I've opted for the cheaper defensive method by using the time Vortex tier 2 tower. Can repel some of the enemies in the early game before the tougher enemies come, like the stonekin grinder, the stonekin rage flames, and a lot of those are stonekin warriors. Yep, our second nature orb, so we have 2 nature orbs and 1 shadow orb. And you can guess that we'll be using a root network, and the best tier 3 one would be the Razorleaf and the Thornbark. Combining both of them together and you have a very good defense. But before you build a lot of the defense, you want to quickly get your tier 4. Yeah, I have Soulshatter to destroy the camp, but I've underestimated
Lay siege to your base.
the camp and I have to go back
Enemies
to
lay siege to your base.
and cast another Soulshatter.
Monument is under attack. Enemies lay siege to your base. Your forces are under attack.
Once again, I've failed quite miserably. And why you want to use Razorleaf as your defenses here is because later on there will be the bandit snipers and the Razorleaf would deal damage to the bandit snipers. For the problem over here will be the Razor shots, as you can see, the long distance attack. That's the reason why we will be using Razorleaf to counter the far range attacks. The Thornbarks will be the ones that will deal with the closer enemies.
Power well is under attack. Enemies lay siege to your base. Your forces are under attack.
Over here, I didn't show you, but one Soulshatter is enough to kill off all the bandit units protecting this well. Alright, once you got a couple of Razorleaf at the main base and the top base with some Thornbarks, you're ready to get your 4th orc. Be using the Thornbark.
Enemies lay siege.
And the problem with Thornbarks are their 10 seconds attack, which would take a very long time. But each attack deals a lot of damage. The radial stones deals quite a lot of damage. Right, you can see the attacks are getting stronger.
A power well is under
And you also build a defense here after you get your 4th orc.
They've reached the wagon. Drive them back.
Alright, the problem here is that I didn't have any defense at the bottom. I wanted to get my tier 4 first, but we can repel the enemies very quickly by using the Thornbark. Of course, once you have your power wells here, you can quickly go back to defend your base over here and make sure to block any enemy units that will attack your main base and your 4th orc.
Your forces are under attack.
Okay, for this area, sometimes you might want to readjust your Razorleaf to attack the bandit sniper. It's a lot of multitasking to do to make sure that your base here is defended and later on the intersection over here is defended plus your main base. So 3 areas of defenses that you have to keep very well, and you don't want to delay the attack on the stonekin, the stonekin master warrior. The longer you delay, the stronger the waves later on, and you want to quickly speed run through it like the Bad Harvest expert. So once your defenses are pretty solid, you want to just rush over to the base and kill off all the stonekin warriors. Right, as you can see, it's 2 stonekin grinder. It's pretty deadly. You want to have a lot of Thornbarks over at the wagon defending the base. Even at this area, you want quite a bit of Thornbarks and time vortexes as well, because you don't have the walls to stop the stonekin grinders from coming in and killing your Thornbarks. So later on, I'll be putting some time vortex to defend the intersection. Right, I have to make sure that my defenses are very good before I move on to finish the game. It's quite tricky to finish the game as well because I don't have the fallen skyelf, which makes things a lot more difficult.
Fire traps. Destroy the source.
So one suggestion that I will give to you guys would be to put fallen skyelf onto the deck so that can reduce damage taken by the rogue giant. As you can see here, I've summoned the Grimvine already, and the Noxious Cloud would kill the stonekin warrior. For the first two stonekin warrior, I'll be putting the Noxious Cloud. I have the life weaving and the green piece to make sure that my Grimvine survives. Oh, that was a unfortunate accident. No choice but to summon another Grimvine. Oh, but first I have to make sure that my defenses are well again. As you can see, my defenses at the intersection has declined greatly. Yeah, my next Grimvine is up. And I really don't want to push this game beyond about 20 minutes. As you can see now, it's already 19 minutes. About 20 to 21 minutes, a lot more stronger units are coming, which is why I'm spamming all the time Vortexes around. Prolong my defenses. And I don't want to spawn too many units as I need the Necrofury later on to take down the rogue giant. Alright, let's take a look back to the Grimvine. Alright, ignore all the units, life weaving and regrowth. Green piece.
Fire traps. Destroy the source of the flames.
Alright, it's surviving very well. Okay, green piece, and for this area, you want to summon 3 Necrofury, but I think I miscalculated and I only summoned 2. 2 is the one. Yeah, because you don't have Fallen Skyelf, you have to have 3 Necrofury with a lot of spell on the rogue giant to deal damage. So you have Unholy Power and an Unholy Hero on one of the Necrofury to use the bone shard on the rogue giant, and the rest of the 2 just use the normal bone shard ability. So in addition to this, you want to have the Soulshatter on the rogue giant and make sure that the bandit master healer is not healing on the rogue giant. As you can see, when it heals your 3rd Necrofury's bomb, it will not come in time to kill off the rogue giant. So it's very important to time your attack. But of course, it is made easier with your Fallen Skyelf. Yeah, so with Fallen Skyelf, you just have to have 1 Fallen Skyelf and 1 Necrofury with the Unholy Hero and Unholy Power, and you can take down the rogue giant. Yes, and finally you did it. With 3 Necrofury with Soulshatter. It's very important to time it perfectly. And yes, I just recommend using the Fallen Skyelf, but I did not know why I did not put that kind in the deck. I still win this game anyways. Hope you guys enjoyed this Bad Harvest solo on advanced video, and maybe look forward to an expert one when I am ready to take down that map.